Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to the Vintage Oaks. I do hope you're doing very well and having a lovely day. So, you join me in the first day of October. I'm just, as you can see, doing my very best to load up this bale. There we go, good stuff. So yeah, we are just giving the cows a bit of a top-up of straw. They're alright for food at the minute. But I suppose I should bring up the heads-up display there so I can just see what I'm doing. Let's disconnect the weight because I can't connect the blower to the tractor with the weight on the back. I did try, and you can do it. It does have a connection on the weight, but the PTO and the connection cables don't like it, and it goes a bit crazy. So there we go. Right, let's open the gate. But yeah, so we've got plenty to crack on with. Now, one thing I have done, I will openly admit, I have made a little bit of a mistake. I've forgotten to do one thing. I forgot to run the field roller in the field of wheat that we drilled a couple of episodes ago. So unfortunately, I'm going to take a bit of a hit when it comes to the yield on that one, which is a bit silly of me, I must admit. Completely slipped my mind. I'm just going to step away from that so I'm not talking over the noise. But yeah, but we're doing okay though. As I say, I know I'm going to take a bit of a hit, but it is what it is. I'll do my best to remember not to forget to do that. But having a quick look at what the quantities are in the cow pen, I'll come into here if I can. So, as you can see, they're alright for food for now. There's a little bit of manure. We're going to muck that out in a minute. Slurry-wise, we've got 141,000 litres. Now, the pen holds 500,000 litres, which is pretty good. But I'm going to let that build up because I do want to take advantage of it. I'm going to use it to fertilise one of my fields at some point. But if I jump into the menus very quickly, scroll right the way up to my field calculator mod, as you can see here, these are the 6 fields that we own. Now the field calculator mod tells you roughly what kind of quantities of these products that each field will take. So obviously what we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 of our 6 fields that will take everything that I'll be able to fertilise fully, hopefully, or one pass at least anyway, with what we've got in, or what we could have in the cow pen here. Obviously field 26 and field 62 are much bigger, so that they're going to take more than what this thing can hold, so I'll probably end up just using liquid fertiliser for those. But I'd like to essentially what I'm saying is I'd like to let the quantities build up to as much as I can in this cow pen, in the tank, in the slurry tank, and then I can have a go at fertilising one of our big fields entirely with slurry. That's the idea. Right, that's that job done. We've still got a bit of that bale left, so that's fine. We shall just park this up neatly somewhere out the way for now, and I shall go and reconnect the weight and connect up the bucket and get them mucked out. Now, as you can see, some of you might be able to see, I've swapped out my bale spike. The reason why I've done that is the one that I had, for some reason, didn't really like. I don't know whether it was the something to do with the Heston bales. It could have been, but when I picked up a Heston bale with it and started to drive forward, the bale was working its way off the spikes, and I have no explanation as to why. But the further I drove forward, the further it kind of worked its way off the spikes, and it was getting to the point where it was literally dangling. Before I got from the bale shed to here, the bale was literally dangling off the front of them. So yeah, I kind of figured I needed to swap that out. So I've sold the old one, bought this relatively simple 600 quid Fleming bale spike, swapped it out, and we'll just lower it down there, get that disconnected. Will you let me disconnect? There we go, that's better. We'll get the bucket hooked up, get these cows mucked out, and then we shall crack on with a bit of field works. Because what I'd like to do today, what we do need to do, we have weeds growing in our field of wheat. Again, I'll just jump into the menus actually and show you. So here we are. Yeah, the field 26 that we drilled with wheat, that's now got some relatively small weeds growing in it. So we need to get those sprayed over with some herbicide and get them killed off. Field 23 here, which is the grass field that we mowed and got put into our silage bunker in the last episode. This is now 50% fertilised, so we could do with running a a tank of fertilizer over that as well, and getting that to 100% to make sure that we've got the best yield that we can in that field. And we also have 3 empty fields, field 62, 22 and 17. We also have field 70 over here, which is our other grass field that the plan is we're going to mow that, we're going to ted it up and get that picked up with the pickup wagon and put into our TMR mixer as hay for obviously ingredients for our total mixed ration. But what I'm going to do with these 3 fields essentially, because we've got wheat in here, so again just for a bit of variety, and you know, as it were, we're gonna put some barley, we're gonna put some oats, and we're gonna put some canola in these other 3 fields. Now, canola is the most valuable of those other 3 crops, so I'm going to do canola in field 62, with that being the biggest field. That's the plan. Not too sure which one of these 2 I'll put wheat or barley in, but barley or oats in. But obviously we'll have a bit of everything. So we'll have wheat, canola, and oats and barley, and the other ones just for a bit of variety, because we do. I am looking forward to January, going into the time-saving stock check mod. As you can see, collectively across the barley and oat that we have in our silo, we've got just over £500,000 worth of grain in there, so that's brilliant. So I am looking forward to January. Now, the money's not particularly great now. It's been going down and down. Also, we've made a couple of loan payments. Obviously, I've done a bit of swapping out, like I say, with the bale spike, for example. And I have also purchased, before we go and muck out the cows, I'm just going to show you these. Now, I want to say a big thank you to all of you viewers and Discord members who gave me suggestions for tedders that I had put out in the last episode. I want to say a particular thank you to Thompson125, hello mate, in the YouTube comments, and also to Sin in my Discord. Hello mate, hope you're well. I really appreciate your suggestions for the tedders. So what I've got here, so Sin over on Discord suggested the Deutsche Fahrer Condimaster 8331, which is a really nice, decent looking tedder. Now, and then also to Thompson125 in the YouTube comments, who suggested this class WA450. Now, I downloaded both the mods obviously, and I looked at them, and it actually ended up being cheaper and potentially quicker for me to buy 2 of these than it was to buy 1 of the Deutsche Fahrers. The Deutsche Fahrer was £14,000 and has a work width of 8.3 metres. The class here was £6,000, and each of them have a 4.5 metre working width. So it's essentially cheaper for me to buy 2 of these at 12 grand, and they'll have a 9 metre working width across the 2 of them, as it was, compared to the 8.3 metres of the Deutsche Condimaster. So I've gone for these 2. Obviously, we'll probably run the Fords with these and get the tedding work done, but I'm very glad that I've got these on the farm now, and they are period correct as well. They look nice and old. So that's so again, thank you to all of you who made the suggestions, and again, particularly to Thompson125 and to Sin over on Discord. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. So with that one sorted, obviously I've made the purchase of those tedders. So the money, we're now at just under 50 grand, which I know it's not bad. 50 grand's a huge amount of money, isn't it? I wish I had that much in real life, that's for sure. But as every game month ticks down, obviously we've got the loan payments to make. So if need be, what I'm going to have to do, and I'm pretty sure I should get all of this into one bucket, because this does have this is a modded bucket. There we go, we've picked up all of that. We're only at 30% full. Yeah, what I might have to do, depending on how we get by with money, I might end up selling 1 or 2 trailer loads of grain that we've got in the silo there. Possibly though, I don't know for sure yet. We'll see how things go. But if I do need to sell a couple of trailer loads just to get a couple of quid in the bank, then I will do. But we'll play that by ear. We'll see how we get on. Right, so let's get this lot tipped. There we go, let this one build up. Now obviously we'll be able to make use of this manure as well at some point into the future. Get that sorted and spread into a field if need be for a bit of free fertiliser, because obviously with the size of the fields that we've got, the costs are going to be massive. Now I just mentioned there about having to sell 1 or 2 grain trailers worth of grain if need be, because I know that we do have, we've got 3 fields to drill. So the seed costs for those fields are going to be pretty massive, knowing how expensive it was to drill field 26 with the wheat. Yeah, it's going to be a dear do, pretty much. But we'll be alright, we'll get there, it's all good. So, I think the first thing we're going to crack on with today is we are going to run the fertilizer in the grass field. So we're going to jump into our Fendt and we're going to connect up for the first time our Sheppard sprayer, because we haven't made use of that. Now obviously we've got to pay for the fertilizer as well. We'll go and get it connected up. We'll run round to our fertilizer tanks. Now the Sheppard sprayer has a capacity of 3,000 litres. Oh, excuse the lag there. And again, if I jump into my field calculator mod very quickly, there we are. So we're going to work in field 23 here. So if I go to the field calculator mod, where are we? Liquid fertilizer field 23 says it's going to take 4,150.02 litres of liquid fertilizer. So technically, that should mean one refill in the middle of that job to get this field run over for the last 50% of fertilizer that the field requires. So because I have always had that field calculator mod installed, but obviously always using precision farming, there was always a difference. It never actually added up properly, if that makes any sense. And I was always putting that down to the fact that there was a difference between what the field calculator mod was reading and having precision farming installed. So is that all? That's that sorted? Yep, I think it is. So now obviously in this series we're not running precision farming, so I'm hoping that I'll pull out of that mode actually. There we go. Yeah, I'm hoping that these quantities that the field calculator mod is telling us are going to be pretty accurate. So that should be pretty cool. So let's get ourselves round to our fertilizer tanks and get this filled up. I do have it wired into the auto drive network, so when I do the job in the field, I'll no doubt put it into a bit of a cinematic, it will be able to bring itself into here. Now fortunately these big wide arms don't have much in the way of collisions, so there we go. Start filling. Now we want liquid fertilizer for this one, don't we? So there we go. Let's see how much this costs us. It fills up relatively quickly, thankfully. Where are we? £3,600. Okay. Yep. It's going to be a dear do. It does annoy me actually. As you can see there, it says £3,600 has come out of the miscellaneous category in the finances. It is a bit frustrating that. I'd very much like it if it was to come out of the fertilizer costs in the finances menu, because then you can properly keep track of things. I think it's something to do with the mod. I can only assume that. Because obviously in the base game, obviously if I was to buy a tote of liquid fertilizer or a crate or a pallet of fertilizer, it comes out of fertilizer costs, but especially with this mod anyway, it just comes out of miscellaneous, unfortunately. So hey ho, this is what it is. Right, so much like last episode, we're going to start work in this field. As you can see, now that we've fast forwarded time, woken up on the 1st of October, sorry, as you can see, the grass is growing again. The yield bonus is at 75%. The fertilised state is at 50%. Now that happened automatically when I had mowed and did all the field work in here last time, so quite grateful for that. So now we'll just top this up and get it to its last, fill up the last 50% of necessary fertiliser. So let's get this thing used for the first time. I'll pop this thing, put a bit of music behind it, and I'll pick you up when it's done. There we go. All done. Now the field is now at 100% fertilised, so that's excellent, and it tells us it told us in the bottom right box, sorry, that we now have a 98% yield bonus, so that's absolutely brilliant. So that's that job done for that field at least now. So hopefully, come the next, come the second cut, based on what we got from the first cut, we're at currently in the silage bunker. We've got 918,000 litres of chaff. So almost 1 million litres for numbers' sake. So hopefully, come second cut, we might be able to break that record again and possibly hit over 1 million litres. So that'll be excellent. But what I'd like to do now is I'd like to focus for a little bit on filling up my total mixed ration machine here. The silage bunker here is currently, if I bring up the heads-up display just so we can all see, 15% fermented. So we've got a little bit of time ahead of us there. Before that's done. Over here we have, I don't think it shows us in an appearing box, does it? No. So if I go into our production systems menu very quickly. Now I have fettled with the amounts that we have in here now. So obviously I got rid of the necessity for the mineral feed because, well, I just did, didn't I? I'm not sure if they really use mineral feed back in this day and age. So silage, hay and straw, it can take 1 million litres of each, and it can also hold 1 million litres of TMR. Now, we've got 87,000 litres in there at the minute. Now, that's okay, but I don't want to be caught short. Over in the bale shed, we have 2.7 million litres of straw. So we can take half of that in bale form and stuff it into here. Now, fortunately, this TMR mixer does take from the bale as well as loose straw as well, so that's excellent. So I haven't got to faff about trying to break the straw down into loose straw. So we can use the flatbed trailer, the auto load function of that, and hopefully that's not going to take too long. Obviously, we've got to wait for the silage to ferment. And when we can essentially just take that from the bunker into here. Now, my front loader bucket has a capacity of 20,000 litres, and obviously that's modded, so it's still going to take a long time to shift all of that from there to there. But it's not exactly far, is it? So I'll just have to give me head a wobble with that one and just get the repetitive job on, just going back and forward, tipping it into there. But obviously we need to get it filled up with hay as well, so that's what the next job is going to be. I'm going to jump in the mower again. We're going to run over to field, is it field 70? I'm terrible at remembering my field numbers, aren't I? Let's just remind myself again. Where are we there? Field 70, yeah, there we go. That's our grass field over here that we need to run. Now, obviously, this has had as you can see, there's no fertilisation in this field at all. I'm just going to take it as it is for now, get a base reading, as it were, and then we'll obviously can work in that field and increase the fertilisation levels, and come second cut, obviously get a better yield out of that one as well. But yeah, so I'm going to run the mower. Now, I did this in the last episode as well, didn't I? So I think I'm going to get the mowing done off camera. But obviously, having just recently made the purchase of our new tedders, I'd like to give them both a run, and I may well present that in the form of a cinematic at some point. Now, see, talking and driving at the same time, I should have put the sprayer back in the where it lives back there at the shed. But I think what we will do, just for now, because I'm not too sure which order things will get done, we do still need to run the herbicide sprayer, with herbicide in the wheat field. So I'm going to just unload what we have here. There we go. So now we have some totes of liquid fertilizer. So I'm going to unload that there, just leave that there for now. Shall park this up out the way, just in here, for the time being. There we go. And we're going to go and jump into our mower and get that done. So, like I said, I think I'm going to get the mowing done off camera, having done one of these in the last episode. And once this job's done, I'll pick you all back up again, and we'll connect up our new tedders to both the Fords and get what we've mown out of field 70 turned over into hay. And then we'll have to get it, no doubt, rode up again, picked up with the pickup wagon, and stuffed into our TMR mixer here. So then at least we're well on our way to stocking up this thing here. Make sure we've got more than enough total mixed ration for our cows. So, I'm going to get myself over to the field now, get this mowing job done, I'll pick you up in potentially a couple of hours' time when it's done, when we're ready to run the tedders. There we go. So almost exactly 3 hours later, and one tank of fuel refill later as well. There we go. That's us. That's the last of our grass fields cut. So really happy with that. I'm hoping, I don't know what it is, but I know this field is very, very slightly bigger, but it just feels like we're going to get even more off this field. I don't know whether I'm wrong with that, whether I'm completely off, but yeah, it just feels like the yield is going to be pretty good. Now, where am I going? Have I missed the field exit? Yes, I have. Driven past it. So, let's get this thing back to the farm. I've got the 2 Fords sat at the fuel tank ready to obviously have a little bit more fuel stuck into them so they can crack on with the tedding job. We've got the 2 tedders hooked up to them as well, so we're going to get that one done. I think I'm going to put the tedding work into a cinematic, and then we need to obviously get it rowed up and get it picked up as well, and I think I'm going to do those 2 jobs off camera, just because I've got a funny feeling that all this work and filling up the TMR mixer with this hay once it's turned to hay is going to take us pretty much the rest of the day, because I think we're going to be looking at a good couple of hours for the tedding. Definitely another 2.5 to 3 hours for the rowing up, and many, many hours of picking up and coming back into with the Fendt and the pickup wagon. So it could be quite a late one tonight, but it's all good. So let's trundle this thing back to the farm anyway, and I'll pick you up in a few minutes' time, and we're ready to get the tedding done. Right, here we are, back at the grass field. So let's give these tedders a good working, shall we? See how they perform. I'm sure they'll be fine, but like I mentioned before, each one of them has a working width of 4.5 metres, so combined together the whole course is a 9-metre course running the 2 vehicles. So hopefully it might take a little bit less time than the mowing did. Hopefully the mowing took almost exactly 3 hours to the minute, so let's see if this takes us about 1.5 hours maybe, fingers crossed. So we'll get this done. I'll pop a bit of music behind this one. I'll see you all again very soon. Right, almost done now. The field is now blanketed in a beautiful layer of hay, so that's all good. And it literally took exactly to the minute an hour and a half. So that's pretty good, considering the previous job was a 4.5 metre work width. That took exactly 3 hours. This is 2 of them, so exactly an hour and a half. So that's brilliant. So, like I mentioned before, I'm going to get the rowing and the picking up of all of this done off camera. It's going to take quite a while, no doubt, but I'm hoping that the yields from this... Obviously, this field has had no prep in it. We've done no fertilisation, none of that whatsoever. So the yields could be around about the same as what they were before, but I think this field is very, very slightly larger than the previous one we did. So I'm hoping for somewhere around the million litre mark of hay. So time will tell. Anyway, so I'm going to get all this equipment back to the farm. Like I say, I'll get everything done and I'll pick you up later on this evening, no doubt, when the sun is going down a little bit, and we'll go over the quantities of hay that we'll have managed to get into the TMR mixer. So I shall see you all a bit later on. Right, almost done now. Here we are. This is the last run. Now it's very late. It's 5 to 8 at night. I think this is the latest I've been out and about doing some work so far here on the Vintage Oaks. But the yields and the numbers are well worth it, because we have stepped over the threshold of 1 million litres. So I actually think we haven't got a full trailer behind us. We've got 69% full, but I actually think we're going to have a tiny little bit left in it, because I think we've got 980,000 litres exactly in the TMR mixer at the minute. So let's get this lot tipped in. Wait for this to finish. But yeah, very, very long job this one, as you can see, 5 to 8. But it's been a good one. It's been fun. So let's wait and see what we have left in this when it's finished. This thing should be completely brimmed. There we go. Right, okay. So, let's pop into our menus. Scroll down very quickly. Where are we? Boom! 1 million litres. That's amazing. That really is. Now, obviously, I've got the mod on that converts the amount. So, at the minute, I get displays in tons and in cubic yards. So, literage, I'm not too sure exactly what we've got in here, but 12%, so it holds 35,000 litres. So what, we've probably got 3,000 and something litres in there, maybe. Well, I'll tell you what, that is, I think that's a record for me. I'm not too sure if I've ever had over 1 million litres of anything out of one field, so that's pretty awesome. Where are we at with this one now? Let's bring up the F1 menu. 27% fermented, so that's all good. So once all this is done, obviously it's going to be quite a job to rally back into tipping it in here, but once it's done, again going into the production systems again, straw, we've got 8,400 litres, but we've got all of our bales over there, so I can literally move half of those bales into here and completely fill this up, and that'll be us completely sorted for total mixed ration for quite a while, as in, yeah, quite a while, assuming everything ticks over nicely. With all the quantities that we've got in here, we'll have 1 million litres of TMR at some point, so that'll be very good indeed. And then what that might mean is that come the next cuts, we'll be able to potentially benefit financially from what we get out of there, because I'll be able to send everything over to the BGAs and make a bit of money from it, so that'll be excellent. And obviously we've got about 500,000 litres of grain still in the silo over here, so come January time, that'll be excellent as well. But like I said, I think I mentioned before, didn't I, that we may all have to dip into that at some point, taking into account the cost of the seed that we're going to need to drill those 3 big fields that we've got left to drill, the cost of the seed and all that. I don't actually think we've got enough money in the bank at the minute to cover all that cost, so and plus fertilising as well, so there is a very real chance that we'll have to dip into what we've got in the grain silo there and just sell a few trailers just to get a bit of money into the account, because I don't want to be getting another loan. We're already, where are we at with our loan actually? We're still quite fresh into it, aren't we, to be honest, but £296,183 left on the loan, so yeah, I'd like to be able to pay a huge amount of that down when we when we do sell all of our grain in January, but we'll just have to see how it goes, won't we? But either way, 1 million litres of hay in the total mixed ration machine. I'm really quite chuffed with that. So I think today's episode, I'm going to call it here, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a busy one. It's been a very long one, but it has been fun. I'm loving the series down here on the Vintage Oaks. I really am. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to my channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing a DLC, an add-on, a season pass, or even the full game itself, or even pre-ordering Farming Simulator 25, and you like the idea of helping a content creator out and supporting their channel, I would be hugely appreciative. So thanks again for your time, everyone. Take care, and I shall see you in the next video.